So on this episode, we got a number of topics that we're going to be running through in this live stream. Hope you'll enjoy it. Today, haven't been feeling very good, but been drinking a lot of hot water. No, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Something that came out of my coffee machine. So the family's been a little bit under the weather, but I get inspiration from Michael B. He's like always sick and he still does a show. I was thinking about limiting the show tonight, but there's a lot of topics, and I've been feeling pretty good. We'll see how the voice goes. We'll see how it plays out. So thank you guys, those that are in the chat. I see JJ, I see Dan, Bob Oif. I have some of your topics pinned up. Thank you. Before the show started, I was kind of finalizing what we would be talking about today. Got some inspiration from those in the chat, so thank you very much for contributing to that. Hopefully we'll have a fun show today. We're going to jump right into it because I want to get you some of the interesting things that have been going on in the various communities that we'll be covering tonight. So first off, a lot of people are excited about this year because there's a lot of deals when it comes to the Arcade1up Deals. Now, for me specifically, I'm relishing not really interested in the idea of buying all new deluxe machines. Now, some of you out there are totally into getting Arcade1up deluxe machines as a replacement for your 3/4 scale, or maybe they coexist. A lot of the deals that are going on now are for the 3/4 scale. Now, there are other products out there, of course, the Partycade, the Countercade, and the new XL version. I think what I'm interested in is in that XL. And the first one that came out that has interested me at a price point was Pac-Man. And some people are finding that at a local Costco for only $4.99 now. CES is right around the corner. That's typically when Arcade1up unveils some of their new machines. I don't know anything about what Arcade1up plans to come out with, but I can anticipate probably the next series of Street Fighter, kind of get into that Street Fighter 3. We'll see. Maybe they will not release a new title and just do an XL version of a Street Fighter. I don't really know. A lot of that is just speculation. But if you're interested in some of these machines, $3.99 for a Fast and Furious is pretty interesting. But as other content creators I've seen have pointed out in Facebook groups and stuff like that, we have, if you go to Kohl's is interesting, $4.29. However, remember the deals at Kohl's, you get some Kohl's cash back. So this isn't real cash, this is Kohl's cash. And the Kohl's cash allows you to purchase other items within a very specific window. In this one, you're going to get $80 in Kohl's cash. So you take that money, buy some t-shirts with it, and maybe you can justify that price of being even lower than $4.24. Comes with caveats, of course, because it's not real money. It's not like you're buying at $80 discount, but it is something. It is something. Now, I said that this live stream, while I'm live, I have it in the title, will have no ads, but here I am advertising some of the ads going on from Arcade1up. But what I meant was this stream live will not be interrupted with any ads. Not a pre-roll, not a post-roll, not a mid-roll. And yes, that's me poking at you, Michael B., because he's like the ad king. In the replay, maybe there'll be ads. We'll see. So I just thought that would be fun. You got the Fast and Furious for $3.99. Those are the deals that I've found interesting this week. For me, not pulling the trigger on any of them, not saying that you shouldn't. You got to make your own decision. But for me, I'm kind of interested in an XL that's probably coming out next year. And these are kind of, a lot of these items, it's interesting, the Fast and the Furious did not come out CES next year, or last year. This one has not been out for a full year. But some of these other machines have. And so, of course, as the cycle goes on, in 2024, we'll get a new set of machines. See what they are. And then do you buy them right away? Or do you wait? That's the game. You got to get what you want, get what pulls you in. Don't allow anyone else to stir you or build up your emotions. Sometimes we do that. And sometimes that's why I don't watch content. Because specifically, if I watch too much content about a certain topic, I'll get pulled in. And I'll press that button. And I'll make that purchase. And I may not regret it, but maybe I purchased it too early. Okay. We're going to jump into the next topic. I got a few topics here, and then we're going to go to the chat. So the next topic is, I'm going to turn down the music here just for a second. We're going to go to a complete mute. All right, left ear, right ear. Okay. Have you guys heard about the Nextick Lightgun? Now, I'm showing some excitement here, but don't get confused. This excitement is actually, I'm excited to talk about it, not excited to purchase it, gonna hold back. I don't know anything about this, but it came in my feed. So how I learned about this was a sponsored ad on Facebook. Scrolling through Facebook, all of a sudden I see this Indiegogo Nextick Lightgun. I was like, I've never heard of this. I do some searches on it. So I went over to like, let's see, YouTube. I was like, is anyone talking about the Nextick Lightgun? I see that the Nextick technology has been shown in some videos, but not the Nextick Lightgun. And so some of these videos, like Drew Talks, it's showing the technology about this mouse, and it made me think of maybe the technology is similar to an LG remote. An LG remote doesn't have a light sensor, but it's a magic remote that you can move around, and you'll see a cursor on the screen navigate around. It's pretty good for like streaming apps. I don't know what the lag is, though, when it comes to using that type of technology for playing video games or playing shooter games like light guns. But let's take a look at the video here. Let me know your thoughts on it. Is it intriguing? I want to say, like, on paper, this looks really cool. But no one I've seen I've never seen a review of this item. Don't know anything about it. So has anyone fact-checked this to see if the technology is real? That's the question. So let's take a look at the video. Also, what is up with this video? This guy just came home from work, right? And he's sitting down behind his couch. He's super tired. He just wants to play some games. But, you know, there's so much work that has to go in to playing these shoot-'em-up games, right? Or not shoot-'em-up games, you know what I mean? These light gun games. I'm trying to avoid saying light gun games because that's what I would call these shooters. But this doesn't use light gun technology, so it's kind of confusing. Anyway, this guy is going to have the time of his life because he just got one of these Nexticks. So let's watch this commercial. Again, no ads from me, but I'm showing you ads about other stuff. Check it out.
Easy aim, realistic blowback and vibrations, convenient wireless control, a new light gun for arcade game type shooting games with motion sensing technology.
Okay, what is up with this guy? Seriously. So I guess we're turning this into a live reaction. So he's wearing a suit jacket, right? But then he's wearing shorts. I don't understand what is happening here.
Introducing Nextick Lightgun for the ultimate shooter experience. Nextick Lightgun
he changed his clothes.
Enables immersive experiences for arcade games.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to point out. This is interesting. So they're showing really cool graphics on it. So it has that, you know, kickback, right? But also look very closely how another device that it has that's going to hopefully make this more engaging.
Type shooting games. What's more, with 2 vibration devices installed in the controller grip, it provides realistic force feedback.
So it's got like realistic force feedback, according to this video, in your palm of your hand, right? And then, yeah.
Allowing you to enjoy games with a high sense of realism. Nextick Lightgun applies a new technology, a 9-axis fusion motion sensor.
So this 9-axis fusion sensor, whatever he called it, this is what made me think of like the LG Magic Remote. Again, doesn't use a light sensor, but can move a cursor on a screen.
Which enables accurate wireless aiming. So there's no need for additional markers such as LED bars or color boundaries on the display.
Ooh, shots fired. Pun intended. Shots fired at Sindin. There's no need for markers around the screen, huh? Okay.
Applies a new technology, a 9-axis fusion motion sensor, which enables accurate wireless aiming. So there's no need for additional markers such as LED bars or color boundaries on the display. Nextick Lightgun isn't affected by direct sunlight, external lighting, or specific operating distances, so you can fully enjoy gaming in a comfortable environment. Enjoy a variety of shooting games with the Nextick Lightgun. Even though it's wireless, you can enjoy shooting games without lag and with fast control speed of less than 7 milliseconds.
Okay, so that's interesting. Do you hear that? He claims that this is wireless. This has no white border around the screen like Send-In, kind of looks like a Send-In, and has 7 milliseconds of lag. Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing? For like $129? Like, it looks sweet, but again, I'm I don't know if anyone has fact-checked this technology. I would not go rush off and support this, and I would ask, maybe even if this small community can go talk to other people, go comment on other videos from your favorite content creator that covers light guns, and be like, have you heard of the Nextick? Could you reach out them for a review? You know, get a review copy, do a review. They got a Indiegogo going on right now. And then have them, you know, fact check this technology to be like, is it really so that this is plug and play, fully wireless, has 2 points where, you know, you got the rumble control and I don't know, all the technical terms, right? And then, you know, 7 milliseconds of lag. Is that all true?
Nextick Lightgun also provides macro shortcut buttons. This allows you to easily control special functions through custom assignment.
Adam.
More than just a game controller. Use your Nextick Lightgun interchangeably as a regular PC or laptop mouse. Nextick Lightgun is the next generation controller for
Is the dude slowly going from work clothes to like he's in the Foo Fighters? Do you guys notice this? He's got the suit. He started with the suit, then he's got the shorts, then it's more casual, and now he's got straight like 90s.
Nextick Lightgun is the next generation controller for arcade game type
Grohl's got a light gun now.
With realistic blowback, vibration feedback, and motion detection sensors. You can now enjoy realistic arcade game type shooting games at home. Nextick Lightgun.
All right, so Nextick Lightgun. Let's hear it. Go find out more information on it. I'd love to hear more about this. Is this something that is going to change the game? Why isn't this more publicized? Is it the small company is just like decided, and I don't know, like what would be the right path if you're creating a product? What's interesting is what I'm thinking is another interesting topic that happened this week, and I'm gonna kind of tie it into this Nextick. Nextick? I don't know. Adam got me. I'm like, am I supposed to pronounce it that way or what? 7 millisecond wardrobe change. That's pretty good. Okay, so the RetroTink 4K was released, what was that? Yesterday. Yes, yesterday. I wasn't able to get one. The demand was really high. The supply is low. And there's a lot of controversy going on the retro gaming space. Now, one of the reasons why I think the RetroTink 4K did so well, in the sense that not a lot of people were able to buy it. There's a lot of people that wanted it. I was there at a pinball tournament yesterday, and in between games, I'm like trying to order it. For 30 minutes, I couldn't order it. Add to cart? Nope. Sorry, you can't add to cart. So evidently Wix does the back end. You know, they're a company that you can build a website with. And so it's using that sales through technology, and it just couldn't keep up with the demand for the RetroTink 4K. If you don't know about it, there's a ton of retro gaming content creators that already have videos on the RetroTink 4K. And this week, I watched the video from Scarlet Sprites on the RetroTink 4K. It's fantastic. What Scarlet Sprites shows is it's a 4K scaler that has VGA, it's got component, it's got SCART, all of these, and even HDMI in. And it has this technology to be able to scale up to 4K and HDR with very minimal lag. And all these technologies allow you to get scan line. And then there's these people like Wobbling Pixel comes to mind. I think there's more on Twitter that are creating profiles to emulate CRTs. So if there's a very specific like $10,000, well, nowadays they're only like $1,000 for these CRTs that are used in the retro gaming space to play retro games, the people are creating profiles to be able to emulate those CRTs. This is almost like a CRT emulator. And the community of retro gamers are so excited about this product that they're joking about throwing away their CRTs. I don't know how serious it is, but there's literally thumbnails on YouTube right now that are like, get rid of your CRT. You don't need it anymore with the RetroTink 4K. What's interesting about this, we're talking about high-profile content creators. I don't know, content creators that have like 100,000 subscribers, things like that have already got all their reviews of the RetroTink 4K for the last year. Some of them under embargo have been playing with the RetroTink 4K and giving feedback to Mike Chi so that he could refine the product before day one. The second thing that did is it allowed him, Mike Chi, to go ahead and tell those content creators, you may now publicize what you think of the RetroTink 4K. So we're talking about content creators like RetroRGB, My Life in Gaming, Scarlet Sprites, many others. MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, have already created content saying this is the best scaler on the market, bar none. Is made by a retro gaming PhD guy, and he's a retro gamer. He's gone to every retro gaming conference that I've gone to that's related to like retro RGB and like meetups, and he's just has this amazing technology. He's also joining like another team for FPGA called the Mars FPGA, and all of his technology for the RetroTink 4K is going to be on the Mars FPGA. So that's really exciting. He's basically Mr. but 4K and has an even more powerful an FPGA in it. So there's a lot of interesting things going on in that space. There's tons of drama going on. If you want to follow, it's all public on Twitter. But my point is here's two scenarios. RetroTink 4K, and then you got the Nextick Lightgun. The Nextick Lightgun is available on Indiegogo. Promises basically this Bluetooth technology. It's basically a wireless mouse, but you can plug it into your PC, assumingly, and be able to get 7 milliseconds lag to be able to play these Lightgun games. But no one's reviewed it. So which one's a better direction? Because some might say that what Mike Chi did, and I'm not trying to call this controversy, but Mike Chi from the RetroTink 4K gave early access to a lot of content creators. And those content creators were able to create content early for this product and basically help market the product by releasing those videos a few weeks earlier, causing a huge demand, a drive and demand for the product that by yesterday, from my counts, from my point of view, it sold out in 30 minutes. I don't know how many were sold. I wasn't following it too closely, but myself personally, I was trying to order it. I could not order it. And every few minutes I'm trying to add to cart, whatever. And about 30 minutes into it, I noticed they're out of stock. Whereas Nextick Lightgun, it's horrible that I'm comparing it to the RetroTink 4K. One's a $750 device, the RetroTink 4K, and the Nextick Lightgun is an Indiegogo. But no one's talking about this. It doesn't. Apparently, no one has early access to this product to fact check it. So it's like, while I trust the content creators that are around the RetroTink 4K, been following them for years, been following their content to the point where they are very honest in their reviews and their assessments of various products that come out. They show the weakness, they show the pros, the cons, everything. And then RetroTink 4K comes out and they're like, this thing is a game changer. I'm like, okay, this is like the one to get. There's no competition at this level yet. There's other scalers out there, but nothing that Mike Chi. No one's gone as far as what Mike Chi's doing. Come back over here to the Nextick Lightgun. This is the first time I ever heard of it. The Indiegogo is like 242% hit. They only asked for $5,000. That's scary. I don't know if I would back this. Like, no one's fact checked this, and it's promising. Is it promising the moon? Like, is there other products that can do basically the same thing? Maybe not. I don't know. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the Nextick Lightgun? Have you heard anything about it? Has anyone reviewed anything about it? Because the idea of doing full wireless technology, but it's just a wireless mouse without the send-in light border, I don't know, maybe just get a send-in, because send-in has that reputation, a good, solid reputation. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm supposed to be like resting my voice, and instead I am getting super excited. Let me take a drink here. So we got JJ here. Go ahead and read it. It says, what are your thoughts about the pitfalls? The pitfall Arcade1up pitiful Arcade1up deals. We talked about that a little bit before. And should Pinball FX support FX3 and their various new tables? It's an interesting topic. We got into the deals already. Maybe we can talk about the Pinball FX in a little bit. There was a topic in here that I wanted to cover. Strong topic in console gaming. Now, the GTA I'm not really interested in the GTA. I did hear about that, watch some of the reviews. I kind of liked some of the humor that were made out of it. There was this one that I saw. It was like The Office, and it showed Michael Scott with Jan on vacation in Jamaica, like kind of copied and pasted into the new Grand Theft Auto game. So that was funny, but I'm not really a Grand Theft Auto fan. I think the technology that they're doing is definitely next level. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Looney Tunes was a really interesting topic, and that's what I'd like to talk about next. So if you don't know about it, okay, let me pass this up. Okay, so this is the trailer. What I'm really interested in, I'm hoping that my local pinball arcades, and I'm going to go talk to the owners and the operators of these arcades to see if they would change their mind about Spooky. So the Jason from let's see, Old School Game Pinball Arcade in Grimes, he doesn't really like Spooky when it comes to their quality. So the quality of the machines and the support, and I've seen that on the different forums. People will talk about like their customer service isn't that great, and if something's wrong with your machine. And we're talking about at the operator level. Like an operator is going out to purchase pinball machines, and they're servicing them in their own pinball arcade. Spooky is in my area. There's no Spooky machines. I've played a lot of Scooby-Doo, but that's when I'm traveling. If I'm traveling to a different place and I'll see it, I went with B. We went to a couple places that has this year. We went to a number of places, and like almost all of them had Scooby-Doo. And I didn't really like the Scooby-Doo pinball machine. Like the upper deck is a little weird, but I will tell you that Looney Tunes. It's not like I'm going to buy it or anything, but I'm really excited about the title. So I wanted to share that. If you guys don't know about it, straight down the middle, they are like partners. They're a distributor for Stern. They're a distributor for Spooky, and they make content on their channel as well. And then I think they were paid by Spooky to host some of their content on this channel. But that's where this is from. Let me kind of show you why I think this is a pretty cool machine, and why I think a lot of people are excited about Spooky coming out with Looney Tunes. So this week it was unveiled that Spooky would have the Looney Tunes artwork. They would have the IP. What's really cool about this machine is it's got like all of the characters. So remember when you were a kid and Looney Tunes was something that you would watch hours of? I remember just hours and hours of Looney Tunes being on, and I don't know what channel I was on, and it would just have, all this content. It's a little weird to be able to like say that you were gonna own, like let's say you were gonna buy a full-size pinball machine, not a virtual machine, or even if it was a virtual machine, would you get Looney Tunes as the artwork? It's kind of like, isn't that made for kids, But what's pulling me back is the fact that they got the IP from Warner Brothers, and then they're going to use, it's just like a Stern where it's got the video in the back. It's got the music, it's got the sounds, it's supposedly got the callouts, it's got mini ramps. It looks like it's 4 wacky ramps. They didn't go with an upper playfield this time, but you can take a look at it. What's not to love? Tasmanian Devil right there in the middle. You got, look at it, Roadrunner and Bugs Bunny. Like it's got so much in one machine. So many characters in one single machine. Like this is like the Marvel of the cartoon universe, right? Like where it's just like Avengers. It's just got everyone in it. Got a magnet in it, then it's got a shot in the back. Like, you just take a look at all of the things it has. It's pretty exciting. It's like each one of these are different cartoons that we would just love. I don't know. Ball lock in the back looks really cool. Come on, come on. Anyway, so there is a little bit of controversy about this machine, about how they made one physical layout machine, and they're using that for two different actual machines that they're going to be selling, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Looney Tunes. How different the two are is pretty interesting, because you have, you got a horror film, and then you have a cartoon that's kind of targeting for kids. And so, but I get it. One of the things they've said on a number of interviews that I found interesting is, not like last time, Spooky has done this before, where they have the same table for two different machines. And wow, YouTube just took me into Sesame Street, so that's saying something. That if you watch the Looney Tunes video on YouTube, the next thing is literally the Sesame Street. So yeah, that is definitely targeting children. But they did a lot of different things. So they got different programmers. The game code is completely different. So the fact that they're going so far in making it where the two games are as diverse as possible, but then they're just, I think, reducing cost in the production by producing a very limited run of machines, like 888, I think, of each one. I don't really understand exactly that, because they have a spreadsheet. There's 3 different models, and it's 888. So is it 888 of every single model, or is it 888 of all together? And then they have 2 different titles, but it's all using kind of like the same layout. But each ones are completely different, like in the sense of, like, there's blood and gore all over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I'm not interested in that. But the Looney Tunes looks really cool. I'm just hoping that Spooky has made a change to convince the operators that they will support them, they will support their hardware, and then I'm going to reach out to the local operators in my area. There's Operating Pinball, who's a distributor, and he specifically runs 1 or 2 different places. Then there's Des Moines Pinball, which is like an operating company that services 3 different arcades in the Des Moines metro area and in Ames, which is like a college town that's about 40 minutes north from Des Moines. And I'm curious if he plans on putting any Spooky machines in the pinball arcades that he supports. And so really, I think when it comes to operators, they want to put machines that are somewhat reliable. And if they have any issues with them, they're covered under warranty. But for me, as a consumer, someone who's just playing the pinball machines, I'd like to just have access to them, so that when I go to these pinball arcades, or some of them are a mixture of not only just pinball, but arcades, and they have a variety of redemption machines, I would like to just have the option to be able to play some of these games. Maybe in your local area, you have more access. Do you have Scooby-Doo at your local arcade? Do you have like Guns N' Roses, which is like more of the Jersey Jack side? In my area, it's mostly Stern, and mostly older games like the Williams Ballet. And then there's some places that will have like like one American Pinball, I think, is at a place, and then a couple Jersey Jacks is at another place. But mainly that's that distributor that's here in Des Moines. But again, I don't even know if the local distributor even distributes any Spooky games at all. Anyway, but I'm excited about the title. I think it's a really good title. I don't know if it's going to sell well. I don't know if they need to sell a lot, because it's already, they're kind of, Spooky is kind of a limited run pinball company as it is. So the prices are cheaper than the LE Stearns, so that's good. Hopefully new companies coming out like that, or companies that come out like that, will drive some of these prices down. And then if the prices are lower, then more operators would buy them. And if more operators buy them, then they can be more successful businesses, and then we can go and pump our quarters in them and play them. But were you excited about any of these pinball news that came out this week? Were you excited about Castlemania Game? This video is now sponsored by Castlemania Games. Thank you so much for the $1.99. This is a temporary ad, and I don't know where to direct people anymore, because Castlemania Games has gone through so many name changes. Ryan's got an identity crisis. So I think CastlemaniaGames.com will take you to wherever his new brand for his retro gaming gear and movies and all the stuff that he sells. So go check him out. Let's see. We got JJ saying real pinball tables are too pricey and require too much upkeep. You have a Stern, right? You have a Stern, right? Console kits. How many issues have you had with it for first year of ownership? So, yeah, Daz right, Ryan. So for the first year of, it's about 1 year since I've owned full size pinball machines. My original ones were older machines, which my main issues with those were not the upkeep or maintenance on the machines, was just like getting them to my basement. And so those are the Pinball 2000 machines that have CRTs in it. What I wish I would have known in December of last year is that you can fully disassemble these machines. Like that might sound obvious, but what I'm talking about is the Pinball 2000 machines. Like, you can take the top off. It's not that hard. I thought it would be like, I need 3 people to be able to lift this CRT up. But no, you can take the CRT out of the back box, and it's just a 19-inch monitor. It's like lifting up a 19-inch TV. Like, you can do this, no big deal. And then the back box itself on the Pinball 2000s is also heavy, but not when it doesn't have a CRT in it, right? So once you take that back box off, this big back box with the CRT in it, the remaining body is not that heavy, and you can take the table out, disconnect the wire, no big deal, and now you have all the pieces fully separated. And that's how I was able to bring both of those machines to my basement at ease, because each one of those parts I could just carry, no big deal, just carry it. Now I think it was with the Revenge from Mars. I think that one I dollied all the way across the grass. That was horrible. I had to get a friend to come help me out. I think I did a podcast talking about that. But the Star Wars, I just fully dismantled. And it actually only took like an hour to do the entire thing. Dismantle it and put it back together again. And I did it in sections. Like I think I did it even between Zoom calls for work. I work from home, and I like took one part, got it all separated, put it downstairs, got back on a call. So collectively, it was probably like an hour of work. Now, with the Stern machines that I've had, I bought a Jurassic Park that's used, had 2,000 plays on it. But even that machine, it's got 2,000 plays on it, the only maintenance I've done on it is near the Raptor cage. There's this metal piece, and it broke. It just completely broke. It fell off, and it literally broke the metal piece off. But I got a replacement from Pinball Life, and it's like $1 or $2 to replace that part. The most expensive part was like the shipping, which is like $10. I think altogether, I want to say it was like $17 to repair that. And now the machine was even better, because I guess I didn't know it when I got the Jurassic Park. There was already a problem with that, so the ball would get stuck there. And the reason why the ball would get stuck is because that metal piece had broken, and it was like on the other side of the flap. And so the ball would go through and just kind of get stuck there. It wouldn't get stuck there every time. So that's why I didn't think there was a problem. I just thought, there's something, for some reason, there's like a problem with. And what's funny about the ball getting stuck there, at my local arcade, they have a Jurassic Park, and the ball would get stuck there too, a lot. So I just thought this was just kind of a side effect. You know, you shake the machine and then it falls down. Maybe you get a tilt. So that was it. Like with the Jurassic Park, I fixed that. Now it's like brand new. Like, it feels great. We'll jump over to Foo Fighters. That one was a dead-on arrival machine, actually. Is that right? For Foo Fighters? Yeah, so I bought a Foo Fighters from Flippin' Out Arcade, or Flippin' Out Pinball. Not Flippin' Out Arcade. Flippin' Out Pinball. I received it. We did a live unboxing with B, if you guys watched that. In the end, my back box would not go all the way to the top. And after the next day, I was kind of inspecting some more, and I was like, this metal piece in the back is totally broken. Like, not broken, it's like bent. And then the table, as it goes in there, like, the whole thing is off. Like, it must have fell over in shipping. But what's interesting is that I contacted Flippin' Out, filmed a video of it, and he's like, I'm sending you a new one right now. So, like, the warranty from these distributors are fantastic. So I had 2 Foo Fighters machines for about a week. And so within a couple days, he got a brand new one out to me, and then he arranged for the other one to be picked up, and they picked up, wrapped it, and took it off. It was no hassle. And since then, the James Bond that I've had, let's see, has that had any issues? No. The Godzilla's not had any issues? No. Now, for me, I do maintenance on these machines once a month. I'm now getting to the point where I'm going to stagger out. I would do a thing where I would just, like, for an entire month, or once a month, beginning of the month, I would take them all, take off the glass, and I'd wipe it all down, and I would do all the recommended maintenance things, make sure that all the targets are, screw in everything. Just check and see if anything is loose. And sometimes things will be loose and you tighten it up, no big deal. And then there's ball marks on it and you just wipe it off. You get some nice supplies, and everything that I've purchased to maintain the machines are so far, but it's like nothing. It's like going to Amazon and getting a whole. Carrie Hardy has a great video on it. It's like, buy this, Windex. It's like $10, and spend $10 on Amazon and get like 25 like towels that you wipe it all with. And then there's different chemicals that you buy, and once a month I wipe it down, and I haven't had any issue. And I play these pretty heavily. So I got Foo Fighters. I've had it for a couple months. It's got 700 plays on it. So, I mean, I play all of these machines multiple times a day and like hours and hours every single day. No joke. And I'm putting in a lot of ball time on it, I guess that's what you would call it. And I haven't really had any issues with it. Yeah, so I say Windex. Sorry, it's not Windex. It's the recommend. I don't know what the branding of it is. I'm not a pinball channel, so I'm not sitting here trying to memorize all the different names and whatever of all the different products that are. I mean, again, Carrie Hardy is probably one of the best content creators in the pinball space. If you go check out, if you don't subscribe to his channel, you should. If you're interested in anything related to pinball, he's got exciting content on there. I think what he does is really, really great. Yeah, Novus is what I use. Novus 2, but only for the ball ramps, the metal ones, and that's if they're, I barely use it, actually. And what's the other stuff that I use that's more common? It's around here somewhere. Yeah, I think everything's on the other side of the room right now. And I've waxed the Jurassic Park one time. That one was kind of an older machine, but I haven't waxed any of the new ones. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. Going to the Looney Tunes, yeah, going back to that. I think it's a really cool title. I'm excited about it. Excited for CES. We'll probably see Jaws at CES from Stern. So B and I are going there, and we got another friend that looks like he's coming as well. And we'll get to see what they have for 2024, if that machine that's coming out. There's a lot of rumors in the pinball space that it's going to be Jaws. I have 100% confidence that it probably is, because it's very unlikely that the rumors are untrue at this point. There's been a lot of details coming out from that. And so what else can you ask for but your local arcades to be filled with a lot of fun games that are brand new, that are coming out, in a thriving business that seems to be on the up and up. There's been some price drops definitely in the pinball space when it comes to the market. So people are a little scared about that, but what can you do? The next topic that I want to talk about, it's just a very short topic. The AtGames Legends 4K. There's all these different models that are out there. This is just a continuation. I don't think that I fully completed this thought on the last show, so I'm just going to jump to the point. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But anyway, what I'm really excited about and what I'm kind of waiting for, and what would get me to pull the trigger on a virtual pinball machine, is if Medieval Madness came out, or Attack from Mars. Now, I'm more leaning towards a Medieval Madness. Now, an authentic, brand new, well, not brand new. So Medieval Madness is a game that came out in the 90s, as you guys know, but the Chicago Gaming Company did a remake of it just a number of years ago, and it's been rumored that they were going to re-release, like they're going to come out with yet another Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars in the 2020s time period, not just the 2016-2019 time period, but now. But there's been a lot of speculation of like, will it be this year? Will it be that year? So what does the market look like? I didn't do research on this, but this is just from memory, so take it with a grain of salt. But in my local area, or my access on Facebook Market, one of the things that I enjoy doing, I've never purchased any. I don't think I've ever purchased anything from Facebook Market, but I go onto it every single day. It's kind of like a little sub hobby of mine, and just do research of what arcades are in my area and what pinball machines are in my area. And this week was actually super exciting because I saw on Pinside 3 pinball machines go up, and immediately I was like, those are Jeremiah's pinball machines. And I felt like, whoa, I've been tracking this without any documentation or anything for so long that I'm starting to recognize different people and their backgrounds and their pictures. I'm like, I know exactly in the Des Moines area who that is. So that was kind of fun. So he just posted 3 machines on Pinside, and I was like, yeah, that's Jeremiah. But anyway, so the Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars, in those remakes sometimes are like $17,000 that I've seen, and these are used machines, but they're the remakes. And then in my area, or like in Omaha or Minnesota, I've seen the ones from the 90s at various conditions in like the $9,000 or $10,000. So what's the point? Am I saying like, look, you should go spend $10,000, $20,000 on machines? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the market has perceived the value of these machines because of their rarity and because of their novelty to be so high. Imagine if AtGames came out with a Medieval Madness that has the same artwork as like a machine that's considered a prized possession. It's of the kin of Adam's Family. Adam's Family is just like this highest selling pinball machine of all time. Godzilla is creeping up. Supposedly Godzilla, according to one researcher, has probably broken the 10,000 mark for, it's the most, currently it's number 1 on Pinside for Godzilla being the best real pinball machine of all time. But Adam's Family, from a sales and the number of years that they were producing, I want to say, is it 20,000? I might not be accurate on that, but I want to say it's like 20,000 machines of Adam's Family were sold over its time. But I want to say, from a novelty point of view, it'd be really cool to see AtGames coming out with Medieval Madness, because I've been tracking those prices for a while. I think the machines are beautiful. When you go play them, they're fantastic. And there's a few in my area. And then when I went to LA hanging out with B, we were able to play them together. And it was just like, there's something about those themes that are just so, so cool. And if we could bring those back, to a machine like a Legends 4K, it's a 4K version of some of the most classic games that are out there. And then the artwork, and if it was Medieval Madness artwork, it's really cool. And it's something that I've always wanted. Not always wanted, but in the last couple of years, it's the topic that I talked to my wife. And I'm like seeding her. It was like, if the prices ever came way down on a Medieval Madness, like, are you okay if I pulled the trigger on that? I could save up some money for it, and she likes the idea of the title, things like that. But, and I keep on telling her, I was like, I can't justify the price. There's just no way we can spend that money on a Medieval Madness. And just throwing all the biases out there that I have, my wife absolutely hates anything AtGames. Like, the idea of going to her and saying, look, I'm going to buy this AtGames product, it disgusts her. The name disgusts her. That's her, and I love my wife, and I have to respect that. But I already was like, but what if? She's like, is it going to have a million AtGames logos all over it? I'm like, we'd cover them up. And she's like, maybe. So obviously, the $1,200 from AtGames is a much easier pill to swallow for a Medieval Madness as an artwork piece, as a game that you would actually play. That would be a lot of fun, and then you have the access to the variety of other packs from AtGames. But so far, of these 4, this is my point of it, these 4, I'm not interested in. Like, the idea that AtGames is coming out with a virtual machine that's 4K is enticing on its own, but the fact that there's so many titles makes me go, wait. So there's like 15 some machines that I have to choose from? I'm not an early adopter. Someone else can be the early adopter. I gotta wait for my title to come out. I'm not gonna just jump on the Addams Family and be like, I love Addams Family, even though I know Medieval Madness I would love more. Like, I can't play that game. I can't just go out there and be like, I better get it, FOMO. I better get it because I'm gonna lose it, and then it's the best deal, it's the best price. For you, if you want to do it, that's great. If you already ordered AtGames because you actually love Addams Family as your number 1 favorite title of all time, great. Not saying anything mean against you. I'm just letting you know my thought process, because maybe my thought process just will help somebody. Anyway, yeah. We got some people that's like, they just straight up don't trust AtGames. Well, there's people that love AtGames, there's people that hate AtGames. Anyway, so that is the topic for AtGames. I wanted to make sure, I'll have to write this one down. I'll remember it this time. I talked about AtGames and my thoughts on it. Okay. Let's see. Thank you guys again for coming to hang out. I appreciate all of you for hanging out in the live chat here. We got another topic here. We're going to jump into the Nova Blast. Nia Severa has placed a ton of pictures on this. Let me go double check something really quick. Oh, see, I almost slid over to it and I didn't have it. I thought I had this prepared. I had this set up. Oh man, now I'm gonna have to pull this up really quick. This will take a second. I closed a window or something again. This is like the second time I did it. I don't know if it like automatically closes this window if I haven't had it up in a while or something like that. Okay, so let me get this in place here. Okay, so earlier this week, earlier this week, I received an email from Jay Mason. Jay Mason's from Unico, and he BCC'd me on this. I think, he sent this out to a lot of people. He's like, here's some more pictures of the Unico Blast. He's giving a little bit of facts breakdown. He talked about how it's a 1080p resolution. It's 1440 by 1080. That's kind of cool that it's like that 1920 by 1080 is the official 16 by 9 HD, but this has that same like HD resolution 1080, but it's 1440 because, it's only a 4:3 screen. So in here, he talks about how it's going to have all these different custom control boards to be able to connect different arcades. You can connect it to PC, connect it to a mini PC. It's got bar top controls and buttons or Sanwa. So there's all this information. Also this week, there was a great video came out by Cool Toy. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. Cool Toy actually got to play the machine, and he gave us access to this information that I think no one else, I think he got the exclusive on this, but he didn't specifically say it. But generally speaking, what I think he's trying to say is the price is going to be surprising. He used the word competitive, but then he said I think he said something like if you're in the market for a Chulix or a Vulix, something to that extent, which is implying like a $1,000 to $1,500 price range. He said wait, because I think he's trying to say like the price is going to be good. Like the price is not going to be $1,500. I think he's implying the price would be like $1,000 or $750, something like that. Now I wonder how they'll do that. What would be really cool? I don't even really want to say prices because like this machine's a really difficult one because I don't know the quantity in which they're gonna manufacture them, how much the screens cost. I don't even really know, but the cheaper the better, I guess we could say. So anyway, here's a picture that Jay sent. Has a lot of fingerprints on it, but that's why you got to get those cleaning supplies out there. This is a prototype, and it's probably engineers wiping their hands all over it. But the colors, the layouts, it's got that microphone that we talked about last week, jack on the front. That's pretty cool. Here's a side view of it. I was really impressed with this. I really hope the production unit was also have this caliber. Wait, what are you saying? Windex. Get Windex. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what I'm wondering is if the product when it comes out in mass market, will it look this cool when it comes to the wiring? I know I'm gushing out about all the different wiring, but like I think it's really cool that it looks clean. Like cleanly looking wires, zip tied stuff is nice. So on the back you can see that the panel is powered, and then you got the RGB sync cable, like the 5 wires there, all over zip tied, and goes to a little breakout boards that then go to the Sanwa buttons and sticks. That's pretty cool. Here it is side by side with an MVSX. Now, of course, if you're into home arcade, you're going to take a look at this and go, why is this so short? But remember, this is a candy cap, so this is when you sit down. See that little rolling seat? I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but I'm sure there's one person out there that's like, never heard of a candy cap, and I didn't know that you're supposed to sit down. You're just looking at that going, why is it so low? The other 99% of you out there are going to be like, yeah, it's candy cap, of course. But at least you can see it side by side. You can see how much bigger that screen is. Can you see that? Look at the 17-inch MVSX cord next to this 26-inch monitor, which, because you're sitting down and your legs are underneath, you're probably going to be so much closer to that machine. That's what I've experienced with my 32-inch screen on the Chulix that I have, that you're pretty close to this machine. It just looks like a massive screen in front of you. I bet it's the same experience. Anyway, he showed pictures of the bottom of it. So typically you'll have casters and then you have these feet. So the feet are intended to be like if you're moving it around your room, you're going to lower those feet so that the casters are just now taking over and rolling around. But then once you find a really good spot, You can lift up the machine that I have. I think only has 2 in the front, and so I don't even have them screwed in right now. The machine's heavy enough that like when you're playing it, it doesn't really move around per se. It's a pretty hefty unit. I don't know what it's going to be like for this this Unico product, if it's going to move around on the casters, but I've heard some people say like it would be cool if it just locked down, like you just. But it looks like on the front they do have it. Look, they do have locks on the front, so that could be an option. Or you just tighten this up and you're good to go. You only use the roller to move it around. So that's the base, and that's what it looks like. You see, he's actually raised the entire thing up, and then the casters are not even touching the floor. So we got some good pictures of that to know what that is. And then here it is. This is what the bottom would look like. It looks like it's got these, I think is it rubber? Got these little rubber pieces, so when it sits on top of the base, that it's not going to move around. And then it has a spot where you can pull the wires right underneath. So if you have any boards underneath, you can put your arcade boards in the base area if you want, or if it'll fit in the top, you can put it in the top. But that looks pretty cool. And here's a close-up of the wiring. Has an arcade power supply in it. So supposedly it's going to come with everything you need to be able to get up and going, except for it won't come with any arcade board, but you can plug it into a PC, plug it into a mini PC, an Android device. It should be plug and play to a lot of these different avenues to be able to play the games on there. Highly compatible, supposedly. Again, on this one, I would love to see something like Retro Ralph or Scarlet Sprites to be able to get a review unit of this so we can really see the high level of compatibility, especially when it comes to, we need someone to fact check this product, right? And it can't just be Jay Mason, can't be just be Neo Severa, but it'd really be cool. I'm not volunteering, not me, someone else with a lot of different circuit boards. It's kind of like when I watched the RetroTink 4K from Scarlet Sprites. That was really cool. One of the cool things about the RetroTink 4K that Scarlet Sprites video did is he illustrated all the wide compatibility of the RetroTink 4K scaler against all of these various refresh rates. That was really awesome. And basically the summary of it is, you go check out his video if you want to learn more about it, was high level. That's right, Scarlet Sprites. He's a content creator. So Scarlet Sprites, content creator, owns a lot of arcade machines, a lot of them being like Candy Cabs, Neo Geo, Astro City, and he has a variety of arcade boards. His collection is high enough. A lot of, and what are they called? The MVC carts, like the actual Neo Geo carts. I think he almost has a complete set. So he has a lot of variety of hardware, so that, like for example, I'll just give you a quick story. Maybe you didn't know about it, but so Jay Mason used to watch 1UP Weekly when Ralph and I were doing a podcast together. And so he was fans of us. And so he was working on the product, the NVSX. And so he reached out to us. He reached out to Ralph and was like, hey, will you do a review of it? And he's going to ship it around to different people. That was the plan. And Ralph was all like, cool, can I ship it to Justin? And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. So then when I got it, I did a review on it. And then I was like, who should I ship it to? And by this time, Jay Mason was kind of like, well, who do you want to ship it to? And I said, well, I want to ship it to Bob from Retro RGB because he lives in New York and he has a lot of hardware that he can run tests on it. And then so I shipped it to Retro RGB. Retro RGB, what he did was he partnered with Beast, who is like a tournament player for a lot of these fighting games. And so if you go watch Retro RGB and Beast did a video together, and Beast was like checking out the controls of the MVSX and was like, these controls are actually really good compared to the Street Fighter arcade 1UPs that he played with before. He thought these were actually tighter sticks and buttons. And so it was really cool that like Ralph and then me and then Retro RGB. And at some point we were saying, oh, hey, Jay Mason, you got to send it to Scarlet Sprites. Scarlet Sprites loves Neo Geo, owns a lot of the Neo Geo carts. So he knows what the original carts, the actual cartridges for the MVS, what they played like in person, because he has, I don't know, like a decade of experience of playing on original hardware. So he could do a review and go, is this cheap emulation or whatever? So that was kind of a fun thing where each person could be like, who I would want to see a review from is like Retro RGB. Or I would like to see a review from Scarlet Sprites. And so Jay Mason kind of allowed that. I don't know what they're doing with this new Unico product, but my pick would be send this sucker to Scarlet Sprites, because he could do a video that's a side-by-side comparison of the Astro Cities that he owns that are CRT based, and with all of the hardware that he has, all the original arcade boards, and he could be like, does it fit? Does it have high compatibility? What type of adapters did I have to buy to be able to get this, CPS2 board to run on the Unico Nova Blast? What type of things did he have to do? And that's a video that I would watch, and that's a video that would educate me whether or not I would want to purchase this, because what I would want to know if I were to purchase this is, what is the compatibility? I would love to know the things like, how easy would it be to put a Pi in it? Like, are there any other adapters I need to buy, or is it literally plug and play? What if I decided to put, I don't know, Pandora's Box? What if I decided to put a Neo Geo hardware on it? Like maybe I was going to get for, I don't know, $35 on AliExpress, you can get the actual Neo Geo hardware, the NVS1, put a multi-card in it, 161 games from Neo Geo. Maybe that's what I want to do. So roughly speaking, I don't know, that probably costs $75 or so. Does that hardware, is it plug and play? That's got a JAMA out. Would it work? I don't own that hardware anymore. I used to, but I sold it. So it's like all those different options, and I think he has all that stuff. So it'd be a video that's like, I tried it with this. Boom, it works. Tried it with this. It doesn't work. Here's the caveats. That would be great. So anyway, I'm really curious about what we'll see for Unico. Will they pick content creators that have a technical background to be able to give us not just their opinion of how it looks or how it feels, but hardware compatibility? That's super important to me. That'd be cool. All right, let's see what else we got on the list. That's it. That's all the content that I have for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Let's, in the last few minutes, let's do a final thoughts in the chats about all the topics that we talked about today. What was your favorite topic that you found interesting? If you could do that in the chat, I'll read that chat. We only got a few minutes left, and I think probably 19K Fox has a show tonight. Maybe you guys want to go check him out. We got Messiah talking about his past. That would be cool. Bob in the chat hanging out. Yes, Scarlet Sprites. See what do you? Yeah, the casters have locks. That's right. Let's see. Retro Randy says, I'm a recent convert to this channel. Love the information. I have a homebrew MAME with a 21 5x4 NEC monitor. That's a great size for old school games too. Man, that's really good. What is up, the Jan Man? It's really good to see you as well. We got to hang, guys. Boom. Just hanging out. All right, Messiah. It's really good to see you. The Jan Man, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Have a good night. Appreciate you. A send-off song, is that what you want? I don't know. A send-off song, I don't know if that's what you guys want. Send-off song. Party on. See, what I'll do is I'll All right, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. The voice did pretty good. I was going to do a 10-minute show. I ended up going the full hour. Ooh. Wow. Simpsons. $2.79. Not bad. James hates everything. Richard Cheese. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Appreciate